I thought today I'd do a scene Loch Lochy up in Scotland. So I'm going to start, in fact I'll just show you the colours first. It's the usual palette if you've seen the videos before. Ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. Using the large Ron Ranson hake. These are just Cotman watercolours I've squeezed onto the palette here and allowed them to dry. It's just that they're always readily available and I haven't got to keep squeezing paint out every time I run out. So I'm just going in with the large hake into the raw sienna all over, nowhere in particular, just randomly on the page. Just gives you a bit of colour, saves the paper just being white and boring really. Then just into the ultramarine, straight in, clean the brush first and then straight into the ultramarine. The horizon's going to be quite high up this time, so there's not going to be much of a sky. So I'm just going to give it a quick, that'll do I think. Now the horizon's about there, so the water's going to be about here. So I want some reflection of the sky in the water. Just mopping up this water that's accumulated at the bottom of the paper. And that's enough for that. I didn't need to clean the brush then, but never mind. I'm going into the raw sienna, same two colours again. Raw sienna, ultramarine. And just put in just a bit of land there in the distance. And then there's a bit more raw sienna without cleaning the brush. In fact, you got a hair, stray hair there, just take him out. A bit more raw sienna. It's stronger paint because this hill's slightly closer, so I want the paint a bit stronger. And then that's it. Just a bit in, just very simply. Make sure that's level at the bottom. Mop that up at the bottom as well where the water's accumulated. I'm just going to give that a quick dry. I'm fussed about it being bone dry, it's just that you can see where it's just starting to, the paint's just coming down the page slightly, and I didn't want to lose control of the paint on the paper. So I just wanted to dry it a little bit, just to make sure that the paint stayed where it was supposed to. So that's a bit of land. Now this is the loch itself. And there's going to be a path sort of sweeping round. So, as ever, starting from the back and working the way to the front. I can see over on the left hand side. I'm going raw sienna, just a touch of light red, not too much because light red is such a strong colour. It'll quickly dominate. Maybe even a bit of burnt umber as well. And then just start somewhere up here, and then just flick burnt ultramarine as well. Just flick in between all of them, really. And that. And now there's just a few. Few branches and whatnot sticking out, and then below that I'm going to clean the brush. Below that there's a bit of grass, so I'm just going to go lemon yellow, touch of ultramarine, raw sienna, and then that sort of works its way. Maybe a bit of burnt umber as well. Works its way along. Now, and down, all the way across the other side of the paper. And then over on this, in fact there's a little, I'm just going to ultramarine, burnt umber, you see like a little narrow tree. Just up there, maybe just running my fingernail across it really, just to try and get some, just to lighten that one side. Just keep experimenting really. And then there's another tree further down here. Tall one. Now I'm just going to use the rigger, plenty of water, number 3 rigger, just to, first thing I'm going to do is get rid of these splashes. So, as long as you get them in quick, as long as you do it quickly, you can get rid of them with a tissue. Rigger, and then just number 3 rigger, ultramarine, burnt umber, and then there's just a few little twigs coming out the side. There. Remember to do them in all different directions, and they do cross over one another. Don't do them all the same way. That'll do for that one. There's maybe another one. Another one right next to it. Yeah, and back to the rigger, and just flick them out. Maybe there's a few. I just want to give the impression of some leaves. So I'm just going to dry the brush, and then once it's dry, just scuff all the hairs up so they're flying in all sorts of directions, like so. And then go into your leafy colours, bit of whatever you fancy really, it doesn't really make any. Sort of leaning towards green, and then just very lightly. Yeah, not too much water, because otherwise you'll just block in some heavy colour and you won't be able to see between your trees then. Just keep it nice and light and subtle. That'll do for that. There may be a few on this other one that we did earlier. So next, there's a path coming down here, so I'm going to mix light red, ultramarine, and then just very quickly, it sort of comes down here, carries on that way, and then it sort of comes around here. So I'm just going to work out which I'm going to do, and then just very quickly. That'll do for that. And just on this left hand side now, in front of the pack, again there's more grass coming down, so raw sienna, lemon yellow, ultramarine,